Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Envy is a silent but dangerous force that breeds resentment. Appearing flawless makes people uncomfortable, creating enemies who secretly plot against you. A wise approach is to appear human, revealing minor faults or relatable weaknesses. This softens envy, making success seem attainable rather than a source of frustration or hostility. True perfection is unassailable only in gods and the dead. Transgression of the law. Joe Orton and Kenneth Halliwell were lovers and writing partners, but as Orton's success skyrocketed, Halliwell's envy festered. Once the dominant force in their collaboration, Halliwell now found himself overshadowed, reduced to an assistant in Orton's dazzling rise. His growing sense of inferiority turned to resentment, and he ultimately murdered Orton before taking his own life. This example illustrates how unchecked envy festers when one person's success highlights another's stagnation. Instead of finding ways to adapt or evolve, Halliwell's resentment grew until destruction was his only means of restoring perceived equality. Envy does not seek elevation, it seeks to bring down those who rise. Observance of the law. Cosimo de' Medici, though immensely powerful in Florence, maintained a public image of modesty. He rode a mule, dressed simply, and outwardly deferred to others. Behind the scenes, however, he controlled the city's finances and politics through carefully placed allies. His strategy allowed him to rule without arousing the envy that had ruined his rivals, the Albizes. This example illustrates how power is safest when concealed. Unlike those who flaunt their status and provoke resentment, Cosimo diffused envy by appearing humble while subtly consolidating control. True power does not need to be displayed. It thrives in the shadows, where opposition struggles to find a target. Keys to power. People struggle with feelings of inferiority, and when confronted with someone superior, they experience envy. Since admitting envy is socially unacceptable, it manifests through criticism, passive aggression, or sabotage. Recognizing these disguised attacks early allows you to navigate power with awareness rather than being blindsided by unseen resentment. Deflecting envy requires strategic humility. Downplay achievements, attribute success to luck, or highlight minor flaws to make yourself appear more relatable. Subtle self-deprecation acts as a pressure valve, preventing resentment from building. A carefully chosen imperfection makes success seem attainable rather than oppressive. Those who flaunt their talents or victories create enemies. Sir Walter Raleigh's brilliance in multiple fields made him admired but also despised. His inability to temper his self-promotion led to his downfall. True mastery involves not only excelling, but also managing how that excellence is perceived. Sudden success is a trigger for envy, especially among peers. Wise leaders like Archbishop de Retz and Boris Godunov avoided appearing too eager for power, instead letting others insist they take it. By making their rise seem reluctant or burdensome, they disarmed resentment and secured lasting influence. Excessive praise can be a disguised form of envy, setting you up for a fall. Hypercriticism and public slander often stem from the same source. Recognizing envy in its many forms, whether disguised as admiration or hostility, prevents manipulation and protects against unseen threats. Helping those who envy you often backfires. Joe Orton tried to support Halliwell's artistic aspirations, but this only deepened Halliwell's sense of inadequacy. Envy does not respond to kindness, it sees it as condescension. When envy is apparent, the safest response is distance, not generosity. Reversal of the law. In some cases, avoiding envy is impossible, And hiding your brilliance only fuels resentment. When Michelangelo was undermined by Bramante, he did not conceal his talents. He leaned into them, turning the Sistine Chapel into his greatest masterpiece. Sometimes the best response to envy is not humility, but overwhelming excellence, making your success an unavoidable reality.